Hello everybody, the Diablo 20th anniversary events are going live and all of the other Blizzard games, including Diablo 3 itself, but WoW is getting a pretty fun and unique one, where if you go to the cow level, which we now know exists in WoW as well, you can get an achievement by getting the 12-string guitar toy. And the way that you do this is by finding a treasure goblin, killing the treasure goblin, and going through the portal that is left behind by the treasure goblin. So let's start with step one. Let's find a treasure goblin. They are always at the end of a dungeon. Once you kill the final boss, it will be there. You don't have to engage it right away, but at the moment someone does, you're on a timer, because just like treasure goblins in Diablo 3, they will run off and start casting their little escape, and if they cast it in time, they're gone. There's no way to stop them. There's no way to stun them. You just have to kill them within the time limit, and it's pretty forgiving, so you should be able to do it even just in a normal heroic or normal instance if that is what you are currently doing. You can also find the treasure goblins within the world, so you can find one, for instance, in the sewers of Dalaran, and killing that again leaves the portal behind. Now, if you were a little bit more lazy, you didn't want to go find your own treasure goblin, you could probably just go down into the sewers, and every single time I've gone down there, I've seen the portal to get into the cow level, because it just happens to be always killed and always farmed by these people. We'll get to that in a minute, but once you're in there, you will see a ton of cows and a ton of Tauren, which are, I guess, supposedly to be the Khazra, which is a unit within Diablo 3. Now, you go in there, but there is the Cow King, and killing the Cow King, he will drop 100% of the time the 12-string guitar. This will get you the achievement for the Diablo celebration, but then there's a couple other things that he can drop. I've noticed that once I've killed him, I didn't get anything else every single time I've gone in there and killed him again, and none of the dudes around have dropped anything for me as of right now. That could be changed in a future hotfix, but as of right now, killing him once and killing anything around will not drop anything further. In order to get out of the cow level, you can easily just click the buff off. You'll have a buff, it's a 5-minute buff. If you click that off, it will automatically take you back out, and you can also just Hearthstone and do anything like that. But generally speaking, just click the buff off, it'll be a little easier. Some other loot that you can get are the Scrolls of Town Portal, which if you combine 10 of them, you'll get a Tome of Town Portal, which is a toy that can replace your Hearthstone, which is what I'm totally going to use because I think that's way cooler than the Hearthstone. And then there's also some charms, which, you know, harken back to old school Diablo. Now, the charms were something that you just had in your inventory and they passively gave your character an effect. But being that your inventory was very limited, it was not necessarily always the wisest thing to have a ton of these charms with you, because then you wouldn't be able to pick anything up. But you can get these charms in Diablo and they work very similarly. They are passive effects, but they're not very good. It's like 150 armor, 100 agility, 100 strength, 100 obviously intellect, and then like 1% movement speed. It's not the best thing ever, but they are kind of cool just to have around. They'll probably be sitting in my bank for some time, though maybe the 150 armor when I'm tanking could be okay. It's a marginal increase. Also, if you're playing a warlock, you do get a little bit more out of this event, especially if you're demonology, because your wild imps will have the mini Diablo skins on them, which is really cool and not something that I was necessarily expecting. But getting the 12-string guitar is pretty easy, and it's a really cool little toy. It plays the Tristram theme. You could just sit there and play it. And a fun little fact, the thing has a 66-minute and 6-second cooldown to it, which is very fitting. Now with that, we can see that the WoW Diablo event is a little bit more involved than some of the other ones. The Overwatch one, you just log in, you get a couple sprays, and it's kind of the same thing for StarCraft 2. Here's the Storm has its own brawl, and so does Hearthstone with the Tavern Brawl, so we'll check those out in a couple future videos. But with all of that being said, we shall see you guys next time.